Kabal.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Random Select. I am Cyborg and I am joined as always by Downforality, and this time we are talking about Kabal. We are joined once again by Smokeman, our special guest. We've already had Smokeman on as a guest before, so we don't need to really learn more about him. We already answered those questions last time, so we're going to get into Kabal quicker. I do want to mention right off the bat though, if you are new to our channel, make sure you check out the Discord where we have 24/7 discussion going on Mortal Kombat 11, as well as you can listen to us live, record the episodes, and you can even come join us in the chat and kind of talk with us as we do the episode. That said, let's go ahead and start breaking down Kabal. Now, Kabal is Downforality's favorite character, so let's go ahead and jump in. So, talking about Kabal. Hype. All right, so we start off in the combat cast. Right away, we get to see this trailer for Kabal. And he's got grayish skin. He's got a green, tan, tattered clothes that somewhat resemble his classic attire. He has other attires seemingly that are closer, but this one, it's still kind of in that same vein. And I guess the biggest change is obviously the skin color, but he's got a face mask that looks very cyberized versus the gas mask look. It's more like a cyborg. Some have pointed out that it looks like Cyborg Smoke from Deception, which I can totally see that. There is a lot of similarity there. And also the hair seemingly is a polarizing thing where it's kind of to his shoulders rather than down his back. Like, it's not really long hair, it's shoulder length hair, and it kind of, I don't know. I think the weirdest thing that sticks out to me about his hair is that it looks well maintained. Like, it looks like it's been well shampooed and conditioned, and like it's been a perm. Like it looks more neatly kempt, even though, like, I even said, if you dye it blonde, it's I want to speak to the manager. Like, it's that kind of hairstyle. Which, I mean, other than the bangs, there's no bangs that go over the front, so I guess he can get away with it. I like this hair. We'll get into your guys' thoughts, but I like the hair. I thought it looked fine. I don't know why. Just not me. I guess the longest my hair has ever been is like maybe 3 inches. Like, it's not very long, and that's after I've let it go for way too long. But yeah, I mean, not that I don't like certain characters with long hair, of course. It's just, for me, I guess that's not the centerpiece of Kabal. I know some, like Temp was especially saying that he likes the long hair. He's more of a metalhead, so he's into that sort of look. But for me, I'm fine with the shoulder looking hair. The mask looks all right. I do like this first skin that we saw. I thought all the gear on him, the skin overall, and just everything to me looked pretty hype. It's actually my favorite of his that was shown in the reveal or whatever. How do you guys feel? Down for?
Yeah, I think it was the best that was shown so far. By default, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it is his Revenant skin. I think this is his Revenant outfit.
This is his Revenant. In the trailer, the description for it says that resurrected as a twisted, evil version of himself, Kabal now serves the Netherrealm and pledges to destroy all other realms.
Okay.
Interesting.
So it's surprising to me that they went with his Revenant outfit as the primary, but I guess it makes sense.
Which is like cool, you're saying, just for the opposite of the last game. Last time we had the primary skins were the human versions, even though they were no longer alive. So I like that this time it's going to be, let's lead with the Revenant versions.
That's true. That's
a
good point.
I agree with that.
I guess this is going to be his primary in the story too, like what he's going to be wearing as a Revenant. So
yeah.
One detail I really like is so he has these tubes that are going under his arms and around the back of his neck. I like how like the closer it gets to his neck, it's like got these like cloth things wrapped around it, and then it has like this wrinkled plastic covering over like on top of the tubes on the back of the neck.
Yeah, I kind of seen what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's something you see like them do with like tubes and like other places. I guess like I don't have any specific example, but
I see what you mean. Yeah,
I've seen that sort of look somewhere else.
Yeah, you were saying down for. I agree with you though. I like the tubes and all that.
Yeah, just like the mask, like you were saying, it looks more like a cyborg to me, not really a Cabal mask. Other than like the tubes on, it kind of resembles it, but it kind of makes him look a bit chubby too to me. Like the way the mask is shaped, it's not like slim like Cabal's mask usually is.
Right.
And the eye slits too. The eye slits are the worst part to me because I feel like the goggles are his look. Like those holes, like I don't know how to describe it, but
I kind of like the way that the red eye slits are, but like I totally agree with you that it look a little bit more Cabal if there were like goggles. Like
yeah,
I could see the eye slits being maybe if they were a little bit shorter, I guess, not as long, and they were more rectangled off. That'd be more like classic Cabal. But I think since they sort of extend like onto the sides of his face, yeah, I get what you're saying.
maybe even if the shape of the eyes wasn't so like shades and more like circles, I think you'd like it more. Like even if they didn't like kind of like extend out like they do in 9 and 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would like it better if it was like that. It's like just the shape of the mask in general. It's not like a full face mask like he usually wears. It's like a half mask. It looks like he could just like take it off, whereas like his other masks, like it's all the way around his head, so his hair is kind of like
poking out,
patted down in the back.
Yeah, it's
not like sticking out at the top of the mask. So
yeah,
it's really just that. Yeah,
yeah, that's fair. It is more like it's almost like a cyborg had just the mask on and the rest of the helmet completely gone. So it's their head with a, like you said, a hockey mask, almost like Jason's mask or anything like that. It does have that look to it where it's just kind of a mask on his face rather than a full-on over-the-head type of mask. So I agree with you there. I get where you're coming from. I like the mask. I'm curious what other options he has. I would have to assume he's got a classic mask in there somewhere. I don't think they showed it off in stream. They showed ones that look a little bit closer to his classic mask, but yeah, I expect we would...
a little bit looked like it with the eyes being more circular, but like head on, it's just a skull mask.
Right. Yeah, it does resemble a skull. But yeah, I mean, overall on this first skin and attire or whatever that they showed off, I'm happy. Maybe some slight changes, maybe a change in the mask, maybe some other hair options if that's a thing. We still don't know how his hair works, whether it's part of his skin or part of the masks themselves. We don't know if it's an all-in-one package because they didn't really show us. They showed us, the one we're about to get to where it's like his human form, or not his human form, but his pre-burnt form or whatever. That one came with a different hairstyle, and we'll talk about that, but maybe it's an all-in-one. Maybe it's mask and hair together.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm confused on how the skin works. Like, he has the Revenant skin, he has the human skin, and he has a burnt skin, but how does that work exactly? Does that come with a skin, or does that come with, like, something else? Like, I'm unsure of, like, can I use this primary with, like, the human skin or the burnt skin? Because if I can use it with the human skin, I think I'd like that more.
Every time you say human skin, it's like a burn victim's no longer human. It's like you just feel so bad.
I gotta identify him somehow.
You go up to a burn victim and you're like, you used to be human. What happened to you? Jeez. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's an easy mistake to make. I started that too. But
if I could say one thing,
sure.
I don't like how his hair is brown now. It's always been black, and they changed it to brown for this game. And I'm not a fan.
Is it not black in the like short hair version? Not the unburned version where it's up in like the man bun or whatever that is.
I'm looking at the render right now. It looks pretty damn brown.
It looked more brown to me, but
I mean, I'm looking at that one that you cropped and put there. That looks black to me. I could see like a dark brown.
I can post the render as well.
Okay, sure.
And speaking of the render, I do like how the render's pose is like the UMK3 win pose.
Yeah, there's a lot of things right with Kabal. Yeah, there are certainly things to debate, but there is a lot right with him that's really badass.
Yeah, I think I'd overall be okay with this design if he had a more traditional mask and hair. That's the only two
Yeah.
things where
I
would really like it. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, let's hope for. That looks black to me. Like, weird.
Where's the render at?
I mean, I see the brown
Let's
that
see,
you're saying, but it's like a dark, dark, dark brown. It's not like when I think brown here, I'm thinking like the color brown. Like it's usually a little bit lighter than that, a little mid-tone brown. This to me looks like a.
That does look black to me, right there.
Because I mean, do you guys think I have? Do you think I have black hair, or do you think I have dark brown hair?
It looks like black to me when I see it in pictures.
It looks black, but I mean, technically it's dark brown. But I mean,
Either
It could
way,
look more brown by the lighting too in
Sure.
game.
yeah.
maybe.
I mean, either way, I think his pre-burnt hair is very much brown.
I'm liking that though. I love that render.
Well,
Even-
I'm talking pre-burnt.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Pre-burns. That was my least favorite out of all three looks. I will say that.
Are we gonna transition?
Yeah,
to
let's
that
transition to that one. I mean, we talked about this one, but yeah. And as far as we know, before we get into that, I guess it's the mask, it's the chest piece / breathing apparatus that's on his back, and it's the hook swords. Those are his three gear pieces that I saw in the. They like glimpsed it in the stream, and I'm pretty sure those are the three symbols that show up. So those are the things we can change. Now, the mask being, like the hair being with the mask just makes a lot of sense to me. Otherwise, you'd have clipping issues, you would think, right? Like with certain hairstyles or with the skins not necessarily working well with the mask. I don't know.
That's almost why I thought they went this route, because I've heard rumors that Unreal 4 has more trouble with hair, because I know the hair looks worse than it did in Tag 2. And Tekken 7 is on Unreal 4, so I don't know, that might be a reason.
I could have sworn I heard the opposite, that it does hair better. I could be wrong with that though.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. That was just one of the thoughts I thought. Maybe that's why they didn't go with the longer hair, but
What do you?
I just hope it's in as an option.
What do you guys think of? And this is, we're still on the original outfit before we move on to the unburnt one. But what do you guys think about the little blades on his hands and his knees? Like he has sharp blades there.
Strange.
I don't know why he
Strange
has
choice.
those. Yeah.
So
It's weird.
I mean, they match up with like the hook swords. I do like that. Like aesthetic wise, they're like the same kind of things that are on hook swords. They're not like knives. They're like full on edges. It's like, it's weird. It's like a sharp edge going along the whole back of his hand.
I don't think he uses them in moves, so that was a strange. It looks okay. I don't hate it, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of weird. Maybe it's some flair for the Revenant outfit. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
Also, I did want to mention I do like the color scheme. I'm glad he retains the regular MK3 color scheme.
I do too. He looks
Like
beautiful in that color
the
scheme.
clothes itself looks very MK3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just want to chime in on the hair one more.
Sure.
It's just the length, like it doesn't really bother me for the Revenant version, I guess.
Sure.
But like I'd say for pre-burnt Kabal, I think he should have longer hair. I don't like he's got going on there. Like I don't think that hairstyle was in the late 80s, early 90s, was it? Like that's something you'd see more today. That weird like side shaved shit. Like even in real life, I don't think that hairstyle looks good. I think that looks goofy as shit. And like he's got this little like baby ponytail in the back. I don't like it. It reminds me of one of Aaron Black's DLC costumes in MKX, where when you played a variation that didn't have the hat, he had this little like thing that looked like a turd on his head, and it didn't look good. And that's what it's reminding me of.
I mean, here's the thing. I have no desire to play unburnt Kabal, so
Same.
But it's also important to be said, I don't mind that he's in. Like if there are people out there, I mean there's people in our Discord that like the idea of playing a pre-burnt Kabal, and to me that's where skins and gear are a good thing. If you want to go play your unburnt Kabal that's you. That's fine. Whatever. Then if we both play Cabal, then you're going to have a character that looks nothing like the character that I play, and that is perfectly fine. So I have no problem that being an option. I don't want to use it just because I don't think it looks cool. Like when I want to play the Cabal with the mask and the hair and the burnt up skin and the raggedy clothes. I don't want to play pretty boy, that type of Cabal that looks like he just walked out of a modeling shoot. Like that's not me, but I don't have a problem with other people getting what they want in that regard. So I just want to make that clear. The more options, the better. As long as you give me an option that I really love, that's all that matters to me. You can have everything you want. Just give me something I love. I think everybody with gear and skins should be able to get a piece of that pie. If you have any interest in playing this character, there are going to be people that like that version. I think even Derek said that. Derek or Tyler, or whoever it was, it was 16-bit. He says he prefers the unburnt Cabal. Like, that's the one that he likes. So, good for him. There's nothing wrong with other people getting something that makes them happy. Is just, yes, this is the Cabal I want, is more like that original skin. I honestly love that gray skin for him, by the way. I'm probably going to use it. They should have had that. All it makes me think of is why didn't they have a Jason with that skin on him? Oh, I know, right? It looks so good, but I digress.
Yeah. One last thing about the pre-burnt hair. I think it works better if when before the accident he has longer hair, so that when he gets burnt he has less of it, and he has just like the ponytail type shit.
Sure.
I think if that works better than that.
Yeah, and that's where it really comes. I mean, yeah, there's nothing we can really do about unburnt Cabal's hair unless he has more than one human, like no mask version, I guess, with that hair, or different hair, I guess. But
and even then, you could say that this is what he wore like at an earlier time. Then later, he says like, "Oh fuck this hairdo, I'm going to grow it out." Sure. And then he gets then the accident happens, because with this hair, he's not going to have the hair like coming out of the mask. There's just not enough there for that to happen. So I think like it'd be fine if you say like, "Oh, this like side shave thing was what happened, what he was wearing before, and then he got longer hair, and then MK3 happened."
And Tem says, he mentions up a point in the chat. He says, "I honestly think the shorter post-burnt hair is completely a technical justification. Longer hair was just graphically a bigger pain in the ass." Now, that really just depends on the females. Like, if we get females or Shang Tsung and see what their hairstyles look like, if other characters in the game have longer hair that go down past their shoulder blades or whatever, then there's no reason Cabal shouldn't have that hair as well.
Sonya does have multiple hair options too, so I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a longer option. But I also feel like the hair should move in his speed and stuff, so I hope if he does have long hair, it's actually like moves with him and moves around a bit. I don't like it that's stationary.
Are Sonya's just ponytails?
She has like the MK3 ponytail and then like the braid. I think those are the two that
Okay, so those are easier because it's just one solid thing swinging around versus individual strands that, so I guess it just remains to be seen, when we see, like I said, some other female characters, if they make it in, with longer hair that is just free-flowing, that's really just going to be the telltale sign.
Yeah, I just brought that up as an example, like, that there are multiple hair options, but it's just, I do want to see if there is longer hair, like, females and shit, too.
I was honestly thinking that it was a technical reason with Katana's hair in X as well.
Maybe.
Especially considering how she had the longest hair in 9. It looked pretty bad when she was doing front flips.
Yeah. I mean, more than anything, I just hope, like, mask mixed with hair, I think being able to change those freely from the skin, I think, is important. So hopefully that is the case. But yeah, and that just staring at that original mask so much also makes me think of like a pilot, like a fighter pilot or something like that.
I see that. Yeah.
The front face part on the mouth. Yeah.
I'll also say for pre-burnt Cabal, so in the content cutscenes for Special Forces, Cabal has these cool like circular shades. I think that I'd warm to pre-burnt Cabal's design if he had those on.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's nothing that's really going to entice me enough to want to play pre-burnt Cabal, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to play Premier Cabal either. I think the mask is the coolest thing about him. So
Like, there's certain characters I associate with being like the pretty boys or the girls that care about their looks. Like those characters, they can have their, like, if Reiko makes it in, if he wants to have a fashion model design, sure. But like Cabal is supposed to be this like this disfigured person. Like, he represents something, and it's badass. It looks cool, and it adds to his mystique and his character and his personality and all of it. So yeah, I wouldn't want to take that away. I think it looks good. So, but anyways, moving on to from I do like the unpretty version trench coat. I guess the fur is a little odd, but once again, it adds kind of to his pretty boy thing. It makes me think of like fur and everything. Just need a dead fox on his shoulders or something, a scarf. But get some thick rimmed glasses. No. So let's move on to the regular burnt Cabal, not the Revenant. And so it's fleshy colored. It looks better than what it was in MK9 because it seems like it was actually healed up, as we mentioned during our kind of when we were talking on stream. It looks healed. It doesn't look like, you don't see a bunch of red patches all over like Freddy Krueger or anything. It looks like skin that's been burnt. It's, it's rigid. It's got the wrinkles and everything in there, the sores. But yeah, it's just not, doesn't feel fresh anymore. Yeah, it looks good.
I like it.
This skin is what really has me questioning the gear, because like he's mostly shirtless, but he's wearing the same, like, from the waist down that the primary has. So like, what's the deal with the skin then? Like,
what is it attached to? That's what I want to know. How do you? Is the skin attached to the gear? Is it the skin attached to the skins themselves? I'm not. I wish they would have made that clear, because it's just confusing.
Skins attached to the gear, or the skin attached to the skin? What was the question?
How do you change the skin, basically? His skin, is that attached to the skins themselves, to the...
I think
it's hard for me to talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, I think his skin texture is actually skins themselves. I don't think it's a gear piece that you can like modify. Oh, you want Revenant skin, this... I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be... He's going to have a Revenant skin. He's going to have a pre-scar skin. And then maybe he has one or two skins that are burnt, like normal burnt Cabal skins. But we don't know how many each character is going to have skin-wise, so it's hard to tell. Maybe he has two of each for all we know. But yeah, I mean, that is hard to tell. I think they are going to be attached to skin, though. I don't think it's going to be a gear piece that you can modify his skin texture. But it's just a guess.
The skin aside from the skin aside, I like the burnt skin, but that skin looks bad to me. Just the shader or whatever, the yellow looks bad, and it's just got the same hair, which is also worrying me. It's like it has the same hair, a different mask, but the same hair. And I know he has different hair in the human one, but I'm like, I don't want to go into this game like 2 months away and then like kind of be like, I really want that MK3 shit. I really want that deception shit. That good, but if it's not, it's like,
I mean,
well, that fucking blows. I don't want to like have to ride or die on this gear for me to have like a good Cabal design that I want.
What worries me is we've already seen what classic sub looks like, and it seems that they're more akin to doing something that's classic-esque and not just straight up classic, which is really worrisome.
Sonya too, she has the MK3-ish stuff, but it's still got like a star on her chest.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have like the shader that looks like MK3. It's confusing to me. I don't know if that's, obviously there's probably a lot more that we haven't seen, but the stuff that we haven't seen.
I kind of prefer it that way in a weird way, and it can be hit or miss. Like you mentioned Sonya with the star on her chest. I do not like that one. But Raiden's, on the other hand, his MK1 version, like the one that's closest to it, that kind of looks like the plain whitish, grayish pajama type stuff. That one looks better in this game than it ever has, in my opinion. And that's kind of his classic version, but modernized. And then I want to say, like I said, that Revenant Cabal, it's not a perfect. Now it's that chest piece though. It's dependent on that chest piece. You change up that chest piece if that is indeed part of that gear, if you're able to change that, that might open up like his chest skin, or you go with something else that has a little bit more of a classic look to it. But the overall, what's attached to his skin, like the tan pants with the green overcoats that's hanging around his shoulders and waist and stuff, to me that's still a classic looking stuff, but it's just modernized. So I think it can work where it's not necessarily exactly what it used to be. Even Scorpion has something that looks classic in like design wise, but it's just modernized and made to look good in this game. Because I think we've seen them do classic attires before, and what didn't work for me on those classic attires is that some things just don't translate to these games. They just don't look right to me.
I think the reason you think that is because they translated the UMK3 ninja costume.
Not just that one. I would give other examples. Raiden's MK1 pajamas in MKX I wasn't really feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
Not Scorpion, but Kano's classic attire I wasn't really feeling.
Everything was wrong about that one.
Sonya's looked weird, and Katana's tournament, or whatever one was her classic one, it was passable, but it still was my least favorite out of all of her outfits. So it's like, at what point do you realize, hey, we got to touch up these classic attires to at least make them look good in the game they're in, rather than trying to stay 100% faithful to the old games, because some things just do not translate or just don't work if you try and make them look one-to-one what they used to be.
I think Cabal's would translate very well, especially if you see him do the fatal blow and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, it's just... it's a gamble, and maybe there is still... Not to say you can't have classic gear pieces, like Cabal's classic mask with his classic hair. There's no reason we can't have that, so let's hope that is an option either way. Like I said, I want everybody to be happy. And get the things that they want with what the characters they enjoy. Last thing anybody should want is big Kabal fans to not have a character that they can really get on board with. That's kind of my biggest concern with like a Frost or something, is if they put her in here, am I going to get like a Deadly Alliance looking Frost, or am I getting MKX Frost? I like Deadly Alliance Frost. To me, that was the classic Frost that I really thought she looked the best in. I didn't like her look in MKX. So I can understand where you're coming from, where you get the character you want, but then, or even Jason in MKX. Jason just did not look right. It felt like he could have been so much better implemented design-wise than he was. So it's disappointing. Sometimes it's not enough just to see the character. You want your character to look good.
Captain Cold for me.
Yeah, so it happens, so I get it. I'm not saying by all means don't think that you should just settle, but they did say, for whatever it is, and I get where you're coming from, that the last thing you want is to have to be, leading up to this game wondering, am I going to have the classic attire that I like? Am I going to have a Kabal that I like looking at on the screen? I hope we get more revealed before the game. It's not just save everything from here on out to the game. Yeah. But at the same time, they did say, for whatever it's worth, that there is a lot to unlock, like design-wise, like gear-wise, skin-wise. So at least by chance-wise, your odds of finding something you like, if they put in that much gear and that many skins, something's got to land for you. Even if it's only just one, at least there's that. So hopefully,
I'm hoping, yeah. Because Injustice, like, the one thing I wanted so much was like Dr. Fate's gloves. I don't know what's so hard about putting in gloves, but I never got the gloves.
Right.
It's like,
I got the worst monkey's paw here. I wanted Captain Cold's fucking hood up, and they gave me some weird beekeeper shit.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't just take the model they already had and just put the fucking fur hood up.
We could get into a discussion on Mr. Freeze, but that's another day.
Oof, I'm sorry.
But moving on. So, yes, I agree. I do like his Revenant skin. I still think that whole outfit, maybe the mask could be different, but that's something you can change at least. The rest of the skin, I actually really love that skin. To me, that's badass. If I do learn Kabal, I I have no plans for him to actually be my main. I was just kidding about that. But if I actually learn him, which is a possibility because I do think he's tight, if he's like my third or fourth character down the line type of thing, I would be perfectly happy playing that Kabal in that render. To me, looks really, really badass. So if I saw him on the screen, I would be happy with that. Now, I hope you get something you're happy with, obviously. And I hope everybody else that is a big Kabal fan gets what they're happy with ultimately. So
I think most people like it. I think it's going well.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's almost there for me. It's almost there.
Yeah, sure. And hopefully, like I said, the necessary things are just gear pieces that... Because gear, you're going to obviously get more than skin. So if your biggest problem is the mask and the hair, hopefully that, like I said, hopefully those are together.
I'd be surprised if it's not in, but it's possible that's not.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on from the skins and the gear pieces. So his idle animation, I really like his idle animation. It's him leaning slightly forward, and this is like kind of like a classic Mortal Kombat animation. Is that his old... is that what his versus screen pose was? Because he has like... He's leaning forward
a little
slightly.
bit. I can kind of see it.
Yeah, he's leaning forward slightly with one hand... Like one arm pulled out, like he's flexing his muscle almost with his fist clenched, and then his other arm it's like the old Egyptian thing where his other arm's behind him and then pointed downwards, like his fist is pointed downwards. To me, that's tight. Like that is a good idle stance.
I think you might be right.
It just came to my mind right now, so like I was thinking of it.
I think in the render his hand was like on his belt, but like I can see the resemblance.
It was on his belt. I'm looking at it right now.
But either way, I mean that's really close. So I think that's
like
badass. I think it looks good on screen. He's not doing any like weird wavy stuff with like his hook swords or he's not out of control doing like the hula girl stuff. He looks solid, like he's ready to fight, and he's like I said, he's doing kind of his classic pose. So I think that's cool. Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much exactly what he looks like on screen with his hand just slightly further back, not holding onto his belt, but his fist down. So that's cool. I think, and I also like how tall he is. Like he was like he was at least like 3 or 4 inches taller than Sub-Zero. I thought that was kind of cool.
He was bigger than I expected for sure.
Yeah.
And he looks kind of thick when he's got all that like layer of clothing on. Like he looks a little chubby, but it's just because of the clothing. It's not. Yeah.
He's just
he's wearing like armor on his chest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that looks good. So I like his idle animation. I think that's solid. His intro animation, he comes in spinning around his swords in one of them, and then another one, he's like zooming in, kind of doing that dash thing where he like disappears, and all of a sudden he's over here, then he's over there, kind of like the Speed Force type stuff. So those are the two that I believe we've seen. Correct me if I'm wrong if there's any more.
I cut out a little bit. What were you talking about?
The intro animation. So the one where he speeds in coming from different spots, and then also there's the one where he spins his swords around, and then he crosses them as he's talking. That's
something that I really like, because like a couple days ago before the reveal, Poot sent me a video of what like actual hook sword fighting looks like.
Sure. And
you're supposed to hook the two swords together.
Interesting.
That's why that sharp edge on the handle is there, because you're supposed to be swinging one sword around while you're swinging the other one, like when they're interlocked.
Cool.
So I'm glad that he's actually doing that. That's really sick.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he does that several times. I know he's done that in his intro and his outro, I believe, so that's pretty cool.
He has an animation in-game where he does it, too. He does it on Baraka.
Yeah, like his fighting in general, and we'll get to his moves, but just the overall design of how these swords are implemented in all of his stuff are just really well done. They even mentioned that on the stream, that they made sure to really implement his hook swords more into his moveset, so that way it really makes him stand out and makes him more unique. So I think that's badass.
Good. I
love it.
I much prefer this to the one single string he had in 9.
Yeah, right.
A few strings, but yeah.
Let's see. So we went over intro animation, outro animation. Once again, does some cool sword stuff that we saw on the stream and the trailer as well.
The outro reminds me of like a more like elaborate version of his MK9 one. which is better, way better than 9.
And then voice actors. So here's another one that's kind of polarizing. I've seen both sides of the fence, weigh in on this, but I liked his voice acting. I think it sounds fine. It could sound a little bit more modulated when he has the mask on than when he doesn't. I feel like even when he has the mask on, it doesn't sound modulated enough for me. I want
Agreed.
a little bit more of like his classic voice, like we got in MK9 and stuff. So hopefully we get a little bit more of that gas mask type sound effect.
It is more muffled in the Scarlet intro, because in the trailer, neither him nor Sub have like the muffled mask effects.
Yeah.
In the intros, so
interesting.
Yeah,
I do agree. I wish it was more filtered, and I kind of wish he sounded like he's kind of struggling to talk a little bit more.
Me too.
The voice itself isn't that bad. I prefer the MK9 guy, but this guy he's not bad.
I much prefer the 9 guy. When I look at MK3 Kabal, I can see him talking like the MK9 guy. It's much more like deeper and shit. Like I just think he did a better job.
But we haven't heard that much from this newer guy.
That's true, but doing a better job is poor word choice. Like, there's not much you can do with your voice, I guess, unless you're like...
Just use a voice box.
Troy Baker, yeah.
You just got a permanent voice box attached.
Yeah.
I am Kabal. Anyway, so that's voice actor, so he's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It just, we got to hear more to really judge it. Hear him in story mode is obviously going to be important. Intro dialogues, any of them stick out to you? None of them really jumped out to me.
I mean, I like the Scarlet one, but the heart, that's cool.
And then, yeah, I mean, that pretty much takes us into gameplay, so that we covered most of his design aspects. So down 4, take us into gameplay.
All right, let's see. So yeah, one thing I was worried about was 16-bit called him a mid-range to long-range character, which surprised me. Like, I get he's more of a zoner in 9 than he was Rushdown, but Rushdown was always such a big part of him. But it does look like that's still in as the mid-range. I think he did kind of misspoke because...
He did. Because when he's talking about that, he's talking about, like, long-reach normals.
Yeah. Yeah, like the mid-range especially.
Examples.
Mm-hmm. And his zoning seems like it's variation specifically. He's still got a little bit of zoning, but it's not going to be that good outside of maybe like one variation, or like depending on. I still don't understand how the variations work. I really,
they haven't
really wish they'd explain this.
Yeah, I don't think they've committed to something yet.
It's annoying.
I know that's something we're all hoping for at this point, because we all want the custom variations where we can just choose the moves we want. But they just. I think they're still weighing feedback from obviously everybody, the FGC, just anybody else that, has a voice in the community. They're still kind of trying to troubleshoot the best way to approach it. I think they want to avoid choosing something that people aren't going to like. I think they're trying desperately before they make a decision to at least lead with their best foot. And that way their option that they go into the beta with, they want to be popular. They don't want to go into the beta with something that's shit on. I think they want to at least try and weigh their options, do their little T-charts with the pros and cons, and go with the one that they think gives them the best gain and gets them the happiest of people. That way they don't have to play makeup after that. That way they don't have to go and change things. So I think they're really... I mean, even Ed and all of them had mentioned on the stream that you're overreact, like when I think they were alluding to like the amplify stuff and like that. They were just saying you're overreacting, just chill, calm down. We're hearing everything, we're listening to everybody, we're constantly thinking, like just making sure. And he also talked about how, the beta they're going to change, they're going to use as a big litmus test to essentially change things if they need to based on that, on feedback. So I think that's just where we're at. I
do wish they'd explain like that though, that they're still like thinking about, because I don't know what to expect for Kabal. Then do I expect like a variation where I'm stuck with these moves, or do I just go in expecting like to make a custom variation for him? I just don't know like, what to expect yet.
they've got to do custom variation. I mean, they don't have to do anything, but I feel like they have to do this custom variation thing. At least start with that, because so often do people. I feel like it's harder to change things than it is to just stay the course. So I feel like if you're gonna at least try something, go all in. If you separate the modifiers and abilities from the gear and the special moves, if you separate those three things out and say, okay, tournament version, like tournament mode, you can choose your gear, you can choose your special moves, because each of them has a slot. So, they take up 3 slots, they take up 2 slots, they take up 1 slot, whatever. That should be their balancing system. And then you have your core moves that are on, just cemented to your character no matter what. You can choose your gear, you can choose how you apply those slots. That's it. Like, no abilities, no modifiers, none of that other extra stuff, like extra damage, extra this. Those are the things that are going to be impossible to balance, and those are going to be the things that just do not work. But since they're already separated, though, and that's the key part here, since those are already separated, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to do custom variations to at least start and see how it goes. Lead into the beta with that. Have a tournament mode in the beta, or just in general, see what the the hardcore community, the FGC, thinks about it, and then go from there. Because
I agree. I do think they should give it a try. It's just one thing that does worry me is like if they have the custom moves, it's like, how do you know which moves they're selecting unless you can see that? It's like you have to prepare for certain moves. It's going to be difficult to prepare for every single scenario. So it's like this dude chooses this zoning thing with this rushdown thing. It's like I have to be prepared for both these options.
I have an idea.
And then someone else's is completely different. Sorry, go on.
I have an idea. Before the fight, so in the loading screen for the fight, so like the versus screen, whatever screen pops up before the fight, just simply that they have it. I'm not talking about just a little icon. Why not have in little boxes showing the character doing the moves they have? And then
I can see that. Yeah.
So if Kabal, let's say, has the new version of the gas blast, like the little gas cloud or whatever, if he has that, and let's say the air blade attached, it's just a quick little animation in 2 separate boxes on the screen on his side that show you those little animations going on. I think that's simple.
Yeah. I can see that.
That way it's not a surprise.
There are ways to make it work.
But I just hope they find a way, because, and I think that's the struggle, is the exact problem we're running into is how do you do that? I think that's why they're waiting, is because they don't know quite yet how to do that, but they're trying to figure it out. They got a lot of people, they got a lot of cooks in that kitchen, some that used to be a part of the FGC, some that currently are, that know what they're doing and know what people want, have their ear to the ground and to the wall, as they said, listening to all of the feedback. They got to know that that's a desire, and they also got to know how Injustice 2 went, where people know how the moves went, and why design all these extra moves that people in your competitive community at tournaments and everything that are displaying your game being played aren't even going to use. Like, that's pointless. You should want your entire community to use it. You should not want to segment it off so that something you designed isn't even used that often in that regard. So yeah, I think that's important that they do. It's not make or break for me. If I get 3 if I get 3 variations put in front of me and these are my choices, whatever, we went there with MKX, that wasn't Mortal Kombat X's problem. So we can deal with it as long as they're decent variations. But I think the most interesting way to go about it, and the most fun, is give me the option myself, as we've talked about. So I'm hoping that's where they go with it.
Agreed. And it's worrying because it is like 2 months away. It's like, how are they gonna do all of this? Are they still deciding? It's like that's a worrisome part. Is like if they're still deciding on this, and it's so close. It's like, and they have even the beta is like less than a month before the game comes out.
And yeah, I mean that's true. So I would imagine they have certain things in place to be able to adjust quickly, and day one patch and all that stuff. But the thing is, if they're doing all these extra moves, like, you can't fit all those into 3 variations. Like, what about the moves that take up 3 slots? Are you going to have a variation with just that one extra move?
Yeah, that's true. It's like, are the slots tied? I don't get it. It's like, are there slots for the custom thing? I still,
That's
I'm
what I'm
confused
saying
on it.
is you can't
Yeah.
if a move takes up all three of your slots, then that's one variation. Like, is that move just not going to be used in the concrete tournament variations? I don't know. These are the concerns. These are the questions. So I'm not really sure, but I'm with you. I think we're all on the same boat here that we ideally want to just play the characters how we want to play them. We don't want predetermined. Like, I don't want Royal Storm Katana where I can do the tornado thing, but I can't do the assassin run. Like, I should be able to make those choices myself. I want them to be
Yeah.
balanced, but I should be able to make the character I want to play as long as it's within bounds. I should be able to make them use the moves that I want to use. And if you truly want to give the players a zoning version of a character or a rushdown, like give them options to play the character how they want to play him, you need to do it custom because then you're not the things that they decide for us aren't always going to be foolproof and they're not always going to be perfect and you're not always going to capture every fan of that character. You're going to have people that want one thing in this variation and one thing in the other variation and they want them together. That should be an option as long as those are balanceable. So,
Yeah.
anyways.
No, I agree. I agree.
So,
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, it's so little time. We'll know soon enough. But
Yeah.
that's, like I said, as Temp has mentioned previously, and we've all agreed in the sense that, and are happy about, is that even our biggest questions about this game, our biggest concerns, we don't have to wait long to find out. It's not like we're waiting 8 months to have these things figured out. We're going to know in currently 2.5 months. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing the game in like 2 months.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it'll be
In
tight.
less than 2 months. So that's insane. But anyway, so gameplay. Go ahead, continue on.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, just like I was saying, I want to play him as a rushdown character. I don't want to play him as a zoner. I don't want to use the buzzsaws. I don't want to have to deal with all that. But I'm liking what I'm seeing with his mid range. His mid range seems really good.
Was the
One thing. Sorry, go on.
What was the buzzsaw? Not what was the buzzsaw? Was the buzzsaw part of his?
He has.
Was that part of his base moveset? I guess is what
I
I'm
think
getting
so.
at.
I think he has a regular buzzsaw in his base move set, and then he can add on a low buzzsaw, which he can throw two of, or the diagonal one. I think the regular one is a universal move. It just won't be like that amazing without the other thing.
Yeah, it's just gonna be. You can't do it in the air, can you? It's just straight on the ground buzzsaw throw is all you.
His
get.
universal, yeah, I think that's the only one.
And then it's the ground one and the air one. Those are the ability things you can
Yeah.
tack on or whatever.
As far as I understand it, yeah.
Okay.
And he has some of his normals. He like has a cool combo extender. Like I think it's like 3-2. It looks good. The 4-2-2-4 looks cool. He doesn't seem to have too many strings that I saw. He's got like overheads in his strings. A lot of overheads in his strings. He's got like back 1-2, which is I think that's a string from 9. I think that was his launcher. But this one has an overhead as a second hit, so you can kind of do like back 1.
Right.
And then like if you have the Nomad Dash cancel equipped, it's like you can cancel that, or go into the overhead, or go into like a low, which he doesn't seem to have a low combo starter, which is good. But he does have like a low special that he can cancel into for like a 50-50.
Yeah, I thought they said basically they kind of stressed that a lot of his stuff is overheads and that the overheads knock the person down, but then he can also attempt a low instead of the overhead, and the low can lead to like an extended combo. But if the opponent reads the low or predicts the low and blocks it, that it's super punishable on block. So
yeah, I'm not
correct?
sure. Like, I don't know what low they're referring to. I did not pay that much attention. I know he has the low special move.
Yeah, with the hook sword, he has one where he grabs him at the ankle or whatever. I know that one.
Is the buzzsaw low? Like that one low buzzsaw?
There is a low buzzsaw that he has, but there's also he grabs him by the ankle, like it hooks their leg with the hook sword, and
that's
then
the one I was referring to. Yeah.
So is that a special then? That's not part of a combo. Like that's not a normal. I mean,
the one where he like hooks him up and then punches him. I think that's an ability.
Okay.
But I don't think that launches. Can you launch that like on Amplify or?
Maybe I could have sworn they were stressing that his normal combo leads to an overhead. That's that kick that is like a overhead kick right at the back of their head, and that it's possible to go low with it. That might be an ability like you were talking about that you can add on to him, because he was only doing that in the unburnt Cabal version that he had prepared.
Yeah.
So that
See, that's
leads
the
me
thing,
to
it's like,
believe that it takes up the slot. But yeah, some of that's kind of confusing.
I did not see him combo off a low. I don't think it launches. I think it ends with the punch, doesn't it? I don't think it. I didn't see the low launch. I know he can hit confirm. I think he can hit confirm off the overhead into the spin for the combo. I did not think he could with the low, but I might be wrong.
Temp and Randy are saying that it launches without being amplified or meterless.
Okay.
Or
I
metered,
thought it
so.
just goes straight to the punch. I did not see a low ability.
So yeah, it's one of those that you have to actually use a slot for. It sounds like though.
I think it'll probably be unsafe, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, and that's what he said.
Damage is super low.
Yeah, he said that on block that it's very punishable. So it's a gamble you take as the aggressor with Cabal. If you want to go for the safer overhead, or if you want to go for the low, but if the opponent prepares for the low, then they can punish you. So it's, do you want to go for less damage? Potentially though, because the overhead leads to the crushing blow. So it's kind of a, like you said, 50-50 in that regard. But it's a good 50-50 in the sense that you can just take the damage on the overhead and not be punished further, and just prepare for the low or try and react to it.
Okay. Yeah, I did not see that low special. I need to go back and watch that. Yeah, he's got a few like overheads and different strings and stuff.
Yeah, Temp is saying in the chat. So if you have the low ability, the mix-up is either forward plus 2, 2-4. So forward 2, 2-4, which is the overhead, or forward 2, 2, low special. You can also forward 4 or 1, 3, or 1 plus 3, I should say, overhead, or forward plus 4, low special. So yeah, I mean, he's got options, because they even showed that in the stream that there's a few different ways you can finish that up. It's the same string, but he's got multiple options.
Yeah, and if that is just an ability and he can't have that like in every variation, if that's a thing, it's like I'm not that worried about that.
Yeah.
Because, let's see. Okay, that's one thing I was like, I'm just glad he has pressure with the Nomad Dash Cancel. I wish the Nomad Dash Cancel had a better animation like it did in 9. I really like that animation and the sound it makes. He just kind of stands in place now. He doesn't even move. But I'm glad he gets pressure, and it costs 1 defensive meter to Nomad Dash Cancel, which I think is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Because if he does like pressure you and open you up, he still has meter to extend your combo or whatever. That's really good.
Right.
But if you use your meter and then you get punished and you're knocked down, you don't have any wake up or anything like that. So it's interesting how they implemented that.
Yeah, and his Nomad Dash, they said that it's one of the few specials in the game that actually opens up somebody for a combo without having to amplify it or anything.
Yeah, that surprised me.
So, yeah, that's pretty good.
I expected it to work like Scorpions. I was really surprised to see that they kept it normal. It's still punishable as fuck on block if you don't hit confirm. And then, yeah, we already covered the buzzsaw pretty much. I'm not a huge fan of how he throws it. I know a lot of people are. I always like the mystique of him just summoning a big-ass buzzsaw.
I like how they're confirming it to be a blackjack and gadget, but two things. I don't like how it's basically just a glade that he throws. I wish it was like a spinning like piece of technology that was spinning on the ground. That's how it's getting across the screen. And when you meter burn it, the animate like the pose looks very similar to his MK3 pose when he does the buzzsaws.
Nice.
That was a good catch by you.
Like,
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, like here's the MK3 one, and then I'll wait 1 whole minute before I can post the next one.
1 whole minute? Is it set on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see here. Oh yeah, it is. All right. I think I do that when we're not recording and forget to change it back, just so it doesn't get crazy. I think it's set on 15 seconds now. Actually, I don't even mean to have that on when we record. So go ahead. Anyways, as we're waiting for that other picture, he's got a parry now.
Yeah, that's tight. I like that.
I like the pose, but like it's not the kind of parry I like. I like the parries that like go to an animation.
You can combo off this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's tight. I liked how in the trailer he like does the parry and then like kicks and into a fatal blow. I just thought that sequence looked fucking tight.
still says it's on slow mode for me.
Maybe it's just
Yeah, see,
after
Randy,
effect.
that's what I thought. I saw the low. I never saw him combo off a low. The low with the punch at the end, I never saw him combo off that. I thought I was, yeah. From what I understand, it like he could combo off the overhead, but not combo off the low. And I think the low is still unsafe. That's what I understood it to be.
It's really strange. Wouldn't you think the one that leads to a combo would be the one that's less safe?
Yeah, I would figure like the string he does use for the overhead seems really safe. Maybe okay, so 16-bit did say it launched, but maybe it does need to be amplified. Maybe they just didn't show it.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyways, the parry is tight. I like it. It's
Yeah.
a cool thing they included because it did
Badass.
have like a flash parry in MK9 with the EX spin. So
Yeah.
really cool that they made this a thing.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it's tight. It looks good.
And the next thing was the gas blast. I don't like this move because it literally looks like Smoke's Stinky Cloud from Deception. And I just don't like that he's using like smoke or like fumes now. Like, I miss the purple. I wish he still had the gas blast. That's kind of like the whole thing with the buzzsaw. There's one move he had other than the spin in every single game he's been in, and that's the gas blast. I didn't want it to function like it did in MK9, but I miss the purple. I like the purple. I like the sound it made. I don't know why they couldn't make it function like the buzzsaw, but just keep it as the gas blast.
If the cloud was a more vibrant purple, I think it'd be fine.
I'd be more okay with it. Yeah. But I just don't like that he literally like burps up a fucking cloud of smoke. I don't know.
And for me, it like raises some questions. Like, what is this? What is this stuff? And why is this what he's breathing in? And if so, why does it hurt the opponent and not him? If it's so toxic.
Maybe he's used to it at this point. I don't know, dude. It's exhaust from his breathing apparatus. I have no idea. I don't know if there's going to be a lore reason for it, or if it's just, it's supposed to be neat and cool looking, or it's literally just because they had to replace it with something. They felt like the gas blast was, as it was just too good, so they wanted to redesign it, so to speak, and have it fit the way they needed it to be for gameplay. I have no idea.
It functions nothing really like how the regular gas blast did.
I thought the blades were supposed to replace like the gas blast.
It does.
The function, like you can essentially, you can throw the straight blade, or you can jump up in the air as if you want to use an ability for it and do the blade. You can even do a diagonal down blade. Yeah. So that is my impression of what the blast is replaced by, more so than what they actually replaced it by, which is like him just creating a very short range thing to end your combos with. Like up close, you can blast a little bit of gas out there, and then, or you can amplify it to create the cloud that does damage over time.
I think you can combo off it.
I do, yeah, I do like the animation of when he amplifies it. I do like that it like spits more out of it. I think that's kind of cool. I do like that.
Yeah. Okay. And then he has the jetpack thing where he like jumps, and I kind of like that actually. It kind of looks cool. How
the fluff.
He jumps over. Yeah, he like kind of fluffs or like does like you can like direct where he goes to. It's kind of like Hellboy's leap.
Yeah, I think that's tight that he can.
It is like Hellboy's air dash.
I like that he can, determine the distance. I think that's really cool, and I like his animation with it, like him pulling his legs up to avoid getting hit by projectiles and stuff. It does look good. I honestly, that was one of the things that really was like selling me on wanting to play him, because I love characters, like I said, with MKX Katana. I like characters that can stay airborne a little bit longer, because you can really do some tricky shit with that. And I enjoyed, like, even with Kabal, you can do that. You can not only determine your distance, but you can cancel into specials with that, like his air blades. So to me, that's really cool. I like that.
It is cool. That was the other gas one that I was okay with. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks tight how he just fluffs in there and jumps.
Yeah.
And you can dodge shit with that, and maybe even like ambiguous like cross up, like depending on like which. I don't know. It's tight. I like it.
I just like it for options' sake. I always like having more movement options. So for me, that's why I'm huge into that for characters. I like being able to do things that, like mobility wise, that other characters can't do, because then it gives you more options with screwing around with your opponents. I mean, it reminds me of going off like that weird thing I would do with Katana where I'd leap off an interactable, fluff after I've crossed up my opponent, and then do her neutral jump punch to lead into, like, to start juggling my combo. Like stuff like that, when you can cancel off of jumps off of interactables into that fluff, and then all sorts of fun things like that. It's a nice way to really trip up your opponent by utilizing a space they're not used to fighting.
Definitely. And he does that too in the trailer. He like jumps and then projectiles them with the diagonal one.
Yeah, he does the leap, or he jumps up. He does like the weird little gas fluff thing over Baraka's projectile, and then he starts his combo up or whatever. So it's pretty cool.
Randy did bring up a good point. I wonder if he can cancel the jump normals off that. I was wondering that too. That'd be broke if he could. But like that's tight. I like that.
Yeah.
He seems really good just in general. Like just I think he's gonna be good. I don't think he's gonna be broke like MK9, but they seem like they did not want to take everything away from him. Like
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be good in this game. And the last thing I think I want to touch on is the combo ender where he stabs you and then runs to the other side and slams you around, and then if you EX it, he does the tornado slam from MK9.
Yeah.
I love this move.
Oh,
It's probably
yeah.
my favorite move that he
Yeah.
has. God, it's so sick. And he gets a crushing blow off it. Man, it looks amazing.
Did we talk about his throws?
No,
No.
I mean, we're getting to that, but yeah,
Okay.
we're just talking
Yeah.
about all of his specials that he has. But yeah, no, I agree with you. That looks tight. Yeah, he looks really, really good. I'm digging him. I dig his gameplay. Not to beat that dead horse, but if there's anything that I hope for the custom variations to be able to create what we want, it just adds on to the gear and it adds on to the skins of being able to, as Temp said, we could essentially have 3 different Cabals, like all have different looks, different gameplay desires. You could play a Cabal that is very rushed down. I could play one that's more zoning. Temp could play one that's footsie, centered, like the neutral zone. And all of our Cabals could be completely different. So I think that's cool.
Now I am doing Nomad Dash canceling. Like that's the Cabal I want to play. I loved MK9 Cabal. Nomad Dash canceling was one of the coolest fucking things in any fighting game. I've practiced the shit out of it. That is also one thing I do want to touch on. They call him a low execution character, which I'm not happy with. I hope he's not that easy to play because Cabal was super hard in 9, and I prided myself on that, on being able to do all the hard shit. I did the hard shit. And I hope the Nomad Dash canceling actually is hard to do in this game. I hope you can do it in combos too. I hope it's not just for pressure.
And it just takes a meter. Do you know how many slots that was? Like, did it take
don't
up?
remember.
Did they say 1, 2, or 3?
They might have, but I honestly don't pay attention to the slot shit. But
1 slot.
one slot? That's really good.
I mean, you should pay attention because if these are
Yeah.
if these are things that we can use in tournament play, you gotta. I mean, when I hear 1 slot, I'm like, oh, I have 2 more slots to work with in addition to the thing I want. Like that's
Like I was saying, like I was confused. I'm just still confused on the variation thing. Because the interview said there's gonna be 3 preset variations. There's gonna be like how it was in X. So it's like I've been kind of
yeah,
like dismissing everything, and I'll figure it out when the game comes out. Like
sure.
if I do have to make all these slots and shit, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think you covered all of his gameplay oriented stuff and leading into like the throws and stuff. So his throws, he has the one where he trips them and then slams them with the sword, then spins them around on the ground. I think that's his forward throw. Forward or back? Yeah, forward, I believe.
Forward.
It's
And-
just forward.
Really sick.
Yeah, he just spins them around. I thought was really badass. And then his other one is where he trips them, slams them, or whatever, and then they like bounce up and he like punches them in the back or whatever. That's the one that leads to the crushing blow. So that's his backward one, or his other.
Yeah,
way,
Smoke
whatever.
Man, I think was a big fan of that.
Oh, I love that one. It's so crisp. I love how it's like the first one he bounces up, stabs him with one hook sword, bounces him up again, and then stabs the other one so they're both in, and then slams him down into the crushing blow. It's so crisp.
It's good.
Yeah, no, yeah, I love both of his throws. Like I said, gameplay so far is really great. His fatal blow, or I guess crushing blows will hit next. Is they showed a lot of his actually that weren't
Yeah.
the standard ones across the board, the universal ones. They showed one where, he does his overhead kick, like the boot to the back of their head, like his foot to the back of the head, and it just crushes the back of their skull. He did one where he slams their head down on the ground, crushing their neck. I believe that's that back throw that we talked about before. He crushes their back with a throw. That's his forward throw. He crushes their back. He does one where he flips them into the air with his hook sword and punches them in the back. Oh, that's their backward throw, right? Is where he punches them in the back. I get those mixed
No, that's
up.
the low special.
No, that's the low special.
Low special. Okay, yeah. You're right.
The forward throw doesn't have a fatal. God damn it!
I know so many things that sound similar.
Crushing. The forward throw does not have a crushing blow. You're thinking of the hook throw special where he like digs him into the shoulders and runs back and then throws him.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I was getting those mixed up because it was all from the trailer where they showed off so many things quickly. But yeah, that makes sense.
This is also like a good indicator of what to expect from the trailers themselves. I think we're gonna see like 4 crushing blows like for every trailer that they put out.
Yeah, I definitely.
They look cool.
Agreed.
And we did see his down 2 one, which is universal, but it still looks cool.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, how am I gonna combo off that shit? Like, I want to put my hands on this right now.
Yeah, his fatal blow was badass as well. I thought it was one of the best in the game so far. He comes from behind the opponent, so that's insanely useful. As they mentioned in the stream, if somebody's zoning Kabal out, all he has to do is wait for them to load up that animation, and then he's just gonna.
It reminds
come
me
right from
a lot.
behind.
Yeah, it reminds me of his like literally like how it was in MK9 and MK3, where it's like if you press a button, you're fucked. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be careful with that fucking fast ass spin. He comes across the other side. It's so sick. I love just how it's used.
Yes.
It's
and
ridiculous.
So yeah, he comes from behind his opponent, slashes them a ton with his swords. He does all like the wind up where he is doing the circular motion, just slashing. Then he impales them with them. Then he like knees him up into the air, kind of carries him up, and then slashes out to both sides. So he digs them out in each direction. Then he puts the sword up through their jaw, like right in that neck part where it goes up through their jaw, hooks it in, comes out of their mouth, and slams them over his head onto the ground. Looks beautiful. So
It's the best in the game. Yeah,
it is so far. So far, it's so fucking good.
And then,
especially the first part. The first part is the hypest shit.
Oh yeah, just
ever.
I love how before he does the circular motions with the swords, he does 2 passes in the same direction.
Yeah, he runs across and then runs back somehow. Like, it's so tight.
And then this led into his fatality that we saw in the trailer as well. He grabs him by the foot with his sword, drags him, so then he just starts dashing, just running as fast as he can. Everything's a blur, but we just see them dragging on the ground, their face on the ground, and as they're dragging and catching friction, just their face just starts peeling away in layers, and then all of a sudden their eyes come out, and it's just like half their skull is missing because of the friction on the ground. Just looks brutal as hell. All of a sudden, he like tosses them, going that same speed. He tosses them in the air as they keep flying. He comes from the other direction, stops abruptly, puts his sword up, kind of like a Gandalf, you cannot pass, and then they just go face first right into it. And what I thought was cool about this is they split in half, which we've seen several times throughout the series, but they split in half in a way that I don't think we've ever gotten a split in half. They split in half from front to back rather than side to side. So, like, they're literally being split in half, and both arms are still there in each half because, like I said, it's being split in half the other direction. So I thought that was really, really cool. It looked good, and the gore and all of that just looked fantastic. The effects of it looked fantastic. The style of it looked fantastic. I'd have to think back about all the fatalities in the game, but this is easily one of my favorites that we've seen thus far.
This is easily Kabal's best fatality. He's never had a really good fatality. Not even in 9, I don't think. This is the best incorporation of his speed into the fatalities. Like in MK3, both I don't like either of them. Deception. They kind of had something going on with the The one where they're spinning and he just kind of like lowers the hook sword down. That could have some potential, but the graphics
I'd say the
there.
best one he's had since or before this one was probably the MK9 one where he guts them and then just kind of lets them fall down onto the hooks or whatever.
I guess I don't really like how the intestines look there, and it doesn't seem very. It doesn't seem too Kabal. Like I can see, I can see Sub-Zero doing the same thing with his swords. Like it's okay. It was okay for the time. At the time, I really liked it.
Either
but,
way,
like,
you're right though. This is the best we've ever gotten.
This one takes a shit on it. Oh my god, it's so good.
It's awesome.
Yes. People in the chat are. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I wonder if you know how like the gradient in the background is kind of purple.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that changes depending on the stage. Like if it's like he's on the nether ship and then it's like red in the background.
It probably does because they're on
that would be sick.
Stage there.
Yeah, that's why I figured. Like maybe it's depending on the stage, so it'll look different every single stage. Like that's cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. It's a good little touch. People in the chat are mentioning how yes, we are seemingly getting eyeballs as the main thing in this game. Like every game that they've been putting out recently, be it cutting people in half or the limbs coming off or the decapitations, there's always seemingly a theme to each of their games in terms of what fatalities have. Like there's something that's done in a lot of fatalities. Yes, in this one it seems to be the eyeballs. Not that every one is relating to the eyeballs themselves, but they go out of their way to show the eyes popping out or whatever. I think it's just them showing off their Gore-Tech, and then they get on a frame of mind where they think this is really cool, but this could just be a few fatalities in a small container out of all the ones we're getting. I mean, we've seen so little of this game and a lot of things, characters, all of the stuff, but fatalities are no exception.
I haven't been bothered by the eyeball in this.
Yeah, me neither.
I think it works really well. Like when the eyeball pops on, they just scream. Like their scream is fucking brutal.
It works, yes. It's because in all the ones that they're featured in, they actually it makes sense that they're somehow shown to do what they're doing. So it's not like they feel like they're tacked on by any means. Their eyeballs falling out of their face that's being literally peeled in half. It just makes sense that they would pop out because there's no skin to hold them in place anywhere. There's no bone or anything. It's just, So it looks good. It looks good.
I much prefer the eyeballs as a thing as opposed to just punching holes into them like an X.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do want to point out, someone mentioned reminds me of the Flash. I showed my brother this trailer like an hour ago, and the thing he said was just, he's like the fucking Flash now with how he like teleports almost. Like he goes through the Speed Force to end up on the other side. He doesn't run. He teleports in. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Sick ass fatality.
I mean, there's already that comparison made with them, so might as well just kind of send it home because it gives him a little bit more visual flair anyways to see him essentially porting. Like he's over here now, he's over here, he's over here. Why not? I mean, he's a speedster. So,
it's tight.
Yeah, I think it looks good. But yeah, I mean, that covers his gameplay. That covered his design. They didn't show off any brutalities, which was surprising. But
Smoker mentioned that earlier. I didn't realize that they didn't. I'm guessing he'll have one for the spin and the hook slam and fucking some of those.
A lot of brutalities for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to see one where he does the little gas blast amplified one and just melts their face. I don't know. Eyeballs pop out, that stuff. I mean, that covers Kabal. So, I mean, we pretty much hit everything. So let's get into overall thoughts on Kabal that we've seen thus far. There's still so much more gear, skins, and brutalities and other things that I'm sure we have yet to explore with this character. There's seemingly even more moves. Like, they said they didn't want to show off everything, that there was going to be more, way more. So
interesting. I didn't hear that. That's cool.
I'm pretty sure. I can't be positive on the moves things, but I'm pretty sure that they were implying that there was more to be shown. But so overall thoughts on Kabal. Let's start with Smokeman. Your overall thoughts on Kabal, and how would you rate him on a letter grade, of course?
I'm really fucking loving all of his gameplay. His animations are all fucking great. His primary is really fucking good. I really like it. It doesn't bother me too much, but there are some things that could be better with the design, but, whatever. You can change shit. But I do have to take some points off for the gas blast. even though I'm not really that tied to it, I think it is a little. He's losing a lot of flavor for the lack of vibrant purple in his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to give it like a B plus.
Okay. My thoughts. Like I said, I like most of what I saw design wise on that first design. So to me, even if that's the only thing I like about him, which I don't think that'll be the case, I'm pretty sure there's going to be plenty more gear pieces or skins that I enjoy for the character. I think there's a lot of untapped potential there design wise that, I mean, we just saw the tip of the iceberg. I'm positive because of just how much they're going to pack this full of gear and stuff. So there's going to be a lot more options on the table for us to design them how we want, shaders and all that good stuff, getting some purple in there. Yeah, no, I'm overall pretty happy with them. And gameplay wise, I think just looks absolutely fantastic to me. They did some things that, like, I would have liked the gas blast, like the classic one, to return as well, but you know, it is what it is. It seemed like some characters are just having to sacrifice, like the ice clone and stuff like that. So they're doing what they have to, I guess, to make for the overall better balance and meta for the game. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out with other characters as well, because I doubt that's the last of it. I'm sure we're going to get other characters with some things gutted out just for balance sake or whatever. But yeah, Kabal, I'm digging him. I think I'm with you with the B+. Down 4?
Interesting. Yeah, it's hard for me to. I really like before I even saw him. I was like, "Oh man, I'm probably gonna love him. I'm probably gonna make a fucking joke about S+ tier, so I'm gonna give him like an S+." But no, I can't do that. But I am happy with him gameplay wise. Like the more I watch this trailer like 30 times just to fucking get what I'm feeling out. Like I just had to process this. Like lots of characters are changing, and this one hit the hardest with what they changed for me. So I just gotta get adjusted to it. I think I'm overall happy with his gameplay. His design is the biggest factor for me right now.
Sure.
When I picture him wearing like an MK3-esque thing with like a mask and the hair and stuff in this trailer, I think I would love it so much more. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt with what they're gonna put in the game. I really hope they do. But overall, I am happy with him. I just wish there were, like you guys are saying with the gas blast and the. I just wish they had gone something with those.
Sure.
But his hook sword and how flashy he is, the fatal blow and everything, it's just amazing how they designed him. So I'll give him like, fuck. Yeah, I'll give him like a B-.
Okay.
And I want to revisit this sometime after the game comes out. Just after I get my hands on him and play him.
Yeah. So not to cut you off, but just to ease your concerns that you're going to give him a B- now, and then maybe, you know, gear comes through and you end up loving him. You don't want to look back on this and be like, oh, B-, I really undersold this character. No, I get where you're coming from. So these are just grading them off what we think of them right now. So my B+ was a B+ that can grow. It can also go down. So that's just the way it is. But yeah, I fully expect after the game comes out. So I've been trying for these episodes I'm going to keep track of what we rate them. So that way, after the game comes out and we've had time to spend with these characters, we're going to re-rank them and see where it stands up. So do not worry, we will revisit some of these. I don't think we'll do character-centric episodes. We'll do more like recaps of revisiting all of them at once type of thing and re-rank them. But yes, there is plenty more to come. This is all supposed to be, just so everybody is clear, going off the information, what we know now. That's all we can do right now. We can only go off of what we saw in the stream and what we saw in the trailer, nothing more. If there's super tight brutalities, a ton of gear that looks amazing, we cannot judge them off that. This is only at the time of the recording, February 6th, 2019. That is what we are judging this off of. So yes, absolutely you can expect us to revisit these characters because we're going to have story thoughts. We're going to have, you know, all the other things that once we actually get our hands on them, you know, there's only so much you can tell based on footage. So yes, we will revisit this. Trust me. So yes, hopefully, and I think we're all in the same boat. We see Kabal that we like, but we see potential for there to be something that we love. and that I think that potential is there for him. It's just going to be a matter of, is the gear there? You know, getting your hands on them. How are the variations going to shake out? What is all that going to look like? So there's so much unknown still with some of these characters that, yes, there's going to be time for us to revisit all of this. But on that note, thanks once again for Smoke Man for coming on and
thanks for having me,
joining us for the Kabal discussion. And we have no idea who we're going to even pick next, because we might have to hit another demo character, since there is seemingly not another character reveal till next Thursday. So we've got some time.
Yeah.
But yeah. On that note, thanks everybody for tuning in. Check out the Discord for all sorts of discussion 24/7 going on for Mortal Kombat 11 and then some. And if you want to listen live, come check out the Discord once again, and you can go out and join the chat as well. We try to interact with the chat as the episode is going on. And yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Take care.
Yeah, good night. Thanks for listening.
See you guys.